Good evening, everybody. So it's been about a week since some things transpired, and I'll be straightforward and say that it's almost been a point that I was almost afraid to speak. But then again, it came to a point where it's not about being afraid as much as it wasn't a time for me to speak, as much as it was a point to listen. So I took a week to kind of absorb everything that was being said. And what I know about myself is that sometimes I need to learn things the hard way. And I'm sure that many of you could agree when it comes to that. People tend to learn most from discomfort, and they grow most from uncomfortable type situations. And I'll admit that the last week has been very uncomfortable, because it's forced me to a position where I've had to look at myself in a different way. And nobody wants to look at themselves in a negative way and admit any kind of fault. So to a degree, for the last week, I've almost deserved what I've gotten. And for those of you who do not know what's going on, I'll give you pretty much like a synopsis of what happened. Throughout the summer, I get my hair braided. Throughout the year, my hair gets really damaged from the washing, blow drying, and things like that. And I know there's other reasons that were put out there, whatever the case may be. But for the last 10 years, occasionally throughout the year, but definitely in the summer, I get my hair braided. A friend of mine was going through a tough time, couldn't support it the way that I wanted to. And I said, you know what? If you want, I'll put you up on my social media. And if it helps you out, okay, cool. She owns she has a locally owned black business, a black salon. Right or wrong, I did what I did. She didn't see fault in it. I didn't see fault in it, but we're all different people, right? So went ahead and did that. Then, hold on, I want to make sure that the stuff was coming in. So I did the video. I was called out for cultural appropriation by a young lady by the name of China Fox. She has a good following on Facebook. She has really good messages, a lot of messages that I actually agree with. So then some of my followers were on her page, some men, some gentlemen, and they were defending me, and it upset her. So then she did a video. Do I agree with how it was portrayed and how the message was put out there? No. Do I understand it now? Yeah. I responded the next morning out of anger and out of my own white fragility, because I made it about me personally. I took it as a dig towards me because she was saying my name and she was calling me names and things like that. I made that about me. And for that, I'm sorry, because it wasn't just about me. It wasn't just about my hair. It was about a bigger picture. So right or wrong, I did that video. I made a comment at the very beginning saying that I knew what I was doing and I did it anyways. I didn't mean that I knew that my hair being braided was going to piss off black women and I went ahead and did it anyway. That wasn't my intention by my words, but I understand the miscommunication. I understand it, right? So what I meant by that was, doing what I do on social media, I know that I'm problematic for some people, and I know that I say things and I do things that people are going to find a problem with. And I understand that no matter what it is that I say or do, some people are going to find faults in it. That's what I try to push people to accept, the individuality of people and to respect people for that type of individuality. What I'm ashamed of, after I've watched my video several times, was that I tried to equate my struggles to the circumstances that my white privilege will always protect me from. And for that, I'm sorry. I was also very dismissive of China Fox in particular, but also the feelings of black women in general. Not just, but just holistically, people that believed in me and expected me to react a certain way. Because as I watched that video, I realized how out of character that was for me. I stand on principle and I push for certain things, and that was out of character for me. And I'm disgusted by it. After I did the video, I went to China Fox's page and I started looking at a few things, and then I realized the bigger picture. So I went back to my page and I took the video down. Shortly thereafter, she posted it to her page, and then it went crazy. Everything popped off. I turned a blind eye to what she was saying because of how she was saying it, which is really crazy because I get aggravated all the time because people judge me based on what I look like or how I say messages, and they care more about the manner in which a message is provided instead of the content of the message itself. And that's what frustrates me, and I did the exact same thing to her. Excuse me. The truth of the matter is, she had some very valid points, once again, that I agree with, and I had to look beyond the anger and the justifiable pain that was in her words and to actually hear her out. I let my emotions overpower my compassion and my intelligence, and I let my passion for people override my purpose. Once again, for that, I'm sorry. I know that my platform comes with a certain responsibility, and I get it. For the people that have been here, it's not that I haven't heard you. Even if I'm going and I'm talking to you directly, it's not that I don't hear you. I've heard you. I've talked to you. I've listened to you. I'm really, half the time, I'm trying to feel it out to say, okay, well, let's just talk. Let's work this out. Or let me understand you more to the point. The truth of the matter is that I'm not perfect. The truth of the matter is that I'm not above correction. I'm a teacher, and some of the best teachers are the ones that remember that even though they're teachers, that they still don't stop being students. I'm still learning and I'm still growing. I had to humble myself and take that heat for the last week. I preach about standing on like a principle, on my moral foundation, and I let my platform get to my head in the sense that, again, I was trying to relate my struggles to people in a way that I know that I'll never understand. And I was having I've had conversations with several of people that agree with me and disagree with me personally, like on the phone. And then it got to a point where something hit home for me when, as a mother, I fear for my children. Any parent fears for their children. Any good parent fears for their children and their safety and their happiness. And something that hit home for me was, okay, we feel for that, but when it comes to being black, something that was said that was really profound, and I'm disgusted by my ignorance of it, was imagine having an added fear for your child because of the color of their skin. I'll never be able to understand that. I'll never have to see that. I think that I knew it, but I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. I'll never understand what it's like to be black, and I'll never understand that feeling like I have a target on my back, or I have a target, that somebody has a target on the backs of my children. I'll never understand that, and I totally get that now. I understand that sentiment now. What I never meant for and what I never intended was to sound so self-righteous and so arrogant and so like I'm some white savior trying to save the world, or trying to do whatever this perception was. It was never my intention. Never my intention whatsoever. And the fact of the matter is, I think what some people want me to do is to apologize for who I am. You want me to apologize for my dialect, or you want me to apologize because I embrace things from other cultures. I dance to Latin music professionally. I travel, teach, perform. So that means I'm trying to appropriate the Latino culture. Or because I'm wearing my hair like this, that I'm trying to take something from somebody else. I'm not trying to steal anything from anybody. I guess it's maybe a little bit different here in New Orleans, because we pride ourselves on our cultural diffusion, the fact that we are a mixture of all these different things, and it's what makes New Orleans so beautiful, because it's charming and it's charismatic and it's different, because we embrace people from all different walks of life and we merge it together within our food, within our music, within everything, the way that we talk, everything. This is the first time in the 10 plus years that I've been getting my hair braided that I've been accused of cultural appropriation. And if that's still your stance, I really can't do anything in order to change your perception of me. I'm not stealing this. I don't own this hair. I understand that I won't be treated the same as black girls or black women that wear this type of hair. And for that, I'm sorry. That's not right either. That wasn't the message that I was trying to put out there, that I'm going to be judged equally to you guys, because it's not the truth. I understand it. I get it. Some of the principles that I stand on is respect, honesty, integrity, and trying to be and accepting being unapologetically yourself. And that's who I am. But I have to look objectively and understand that not everybody is going to look and feel like me, and not everybody is going to look at me and accept me for my choices and what it is that I believe and what it is that I stand for. Some people just aren't going to like me. And I spent the better part of a week trying to get people to see that I'm not the enemy, that my heart is in the right place, and that I truly care for all people. Some people think that this is a front. Some people think that this is for my own personal gain. I can understand your distrust of people that look like me. I can understand your hesitation in listening to somebody like me, or getting this false idea as to who it is that I am and what it is that I believe. I totally understand that. And it's not that I don't. I'm genuinely sorry for how some people took what I said. And I went ahead and defended myself and made you feel like I didn't hear you. And maybe to a certain degree I didn't. But I've listened. In the conversations that I've had, I've grown and I've learned from the discomfort that I placed upon myself. All that I'm asking is that you don't make me apologize for who I am. No different than I would try to get somebody else to apologize for who they are. I wish we lived in a utopian society where everybody was loving and caring and compassionate and tolerant and patient, but this is not the world that we live in. I also don't want people to feel like I should hide my emotions, that I'm not able to be emotional behind my profession or my kids or about the situation and the current conditions of this country. Because if I don't get emotional, and emotionality can be ranging from anger to frustration to sadness or whatever, I am who I am, and I am an emotional person. But I'm not going to apologize for my emotionality. I'm not going to feel like I can't cry or be upset or anything. No different than I should not have taken what China did for that face value of seeing only the anger and seeing only that simply because she was calling me the names that she was calling me. I had to listen through the pain, and I had to listen and hear the message. I know that I'm not a savior, but I also don't want you to feel like I'm your enemy. What I'm most disgusted by, and I'll say this, what I'm most disgusted by is that what I've done has created a dissension amongst people who actually have a lot more in common because they seek the same goal. A dissension in the sense that you have black women against black men, or black women versus black women, people that agree with me, people that agree with China, and then it just goes back and forth between everybody, and the message is completely lost in translation. Nothing is getting through. Nobody's making any kind of headway on anything, and everybody collectively is going to be suffering from it. That's what I'm disgusted by, and I'm disgusted by the fact that I did that. I played a role in that, because that is totally contradictory and counterproductive of my cause and the messages that I try to put out. All of that stuff goes against the trajectory of what I want to see in the world, because regardless of what you believe and what you think, I believe in justice and I believe in equality, and I want to see these things happen in this world. I don't know what else I could possibly do to get people to understand that, and to get people to believe that. And the answer to that is probably nothing. There's nothing else that I can say or do at this point besides say that I'm sorry, and hope that you believe me whenever it is that I say it. But I can't prove it. I don't. My biggest thing is that when it comes to doing what I do, a part of that has to come with that responsibility and owning up to when you're doing something that's wrong. What I wish, though, is people argue so much, like I said, that the message gets lost in translation and people don't hear one another out. They're so worried on trying to get people to understand where they're coming from and to prove their point and to say that I'm right and you're wrong and this and that, and they're going back and forth, that nothing positive happens. Nothing great and profound really happens. And then when some people do get to a certain level, people jump in and just open up old stuff. It's what I've noticed throughout the duration of everything. And then there's just spiteful people on all sides that do not want to have peace. They do not want to have understanding. They live within this anarchy and animosity because that's just who it is that they are. I've just grown tired. I've grown tired of the evil that's within this world, and I've grown frustrated with it. And what I'm tired of more than anything is losing kids to 6-foot cells or 6 feet of dirt. That's what I'm tired about. And if that makes me corny or kumbaya-ish because I want to see this world be better, and this is me showing vulnerability and me crying white tears or whatever the case, whatever people want, call it whatever it is. But I know my heart. And I know my conscience. And I don't want anybody to feel sorry for me. I don't want anybody to defend me because I have to own this for me. I did this. I had my actions, and they're going to have consequences for my actions. It doesn't justify the hate that goes around, but to a certain degree, what else did I expect? I hope that you can take this for what it is, and I know that my intentions were well. And I understand if you don't want to believe me, or you don't want to listen to me, or if people are disappointed in me. No matter what, I'm pretty sure people are in my comments, which I've disabled, pretty sure people are within my comments saying, you don't need to apologize for anything. I don't believe that. I don't believe that you could have several hundreds, if not thousands of women feeling a certain type of way and feeling as if I dismiss them or their struggles and that I can't listen to them. The moment that I stop listening to the people who are going through the struggle, that means I'm completely detached from the struggle. So it's no wonder that they tell me I shouldn't speak on it, because to them, I have absolutely no idea. And I really don't. But if I'm dismissing what it is that they're telling me, they have every right to feel the way that they feel. What I also don't want is for you to sit here, and I've gotten messages about this too. I don't want you to judge all white people based on something that I've said. You have really good people in general from all walks of life and all ethnicities that want to see better in this world. Do not do that. Judge people based upon their character. And if my character does not suit you, then that's fine with me. No matter what your feelings are towards me, my biggest goal and my biggest message that I've always pushed is respect. We might not agree. I'm going to stand my principle and focus on my purpose and focus on my message. I really don't know what else I could possibly do besides staying my course and do what I've been telling people this whole time. Fight for whatever cause you believe in that gives you your passion and makes you feel like you're making a difference. And I'm hoping that I've fought it to not let it deter me from it, because it's been a lot. But I can't fight what's in my heart. I can't fight what I feel to be the right thing. If that makes me crazy, and so be it. But what I know more than anything is that I want everybody to focus on being the best person that they possibly can. And I want you to fight for what it is that you believe in. And don't let other people make you feel like you're less than what you believe. I want to, if I had a magic wand to rid the world of ignorance and hatred on all sides, I don't know. I think that good in the end will always prevail, and I'm hoping that I'm not wrong about that. With that said, I felt like I owed that to those that I disappointed, because there were truly people that I felt had very valid points, and they were dismissed and overlooked and marginalized by my words. And I never wanted that to happen. With that said, this is one of life's teachable moments, and I love you more than anything. Thank you. Have a blessed night. To Teacher Life. Teacher Life just got taught. Good night, guys.